Welcome to my Dragon Ball Z Kakarot review, you pissed off bastards. This is a weird game. It is a combination of many elements, but with focus on fighting that series is known for. They have tried to build some kind of role-playing life of a Saiyan game that would expand Dragon Ball Z games to more than fighting. Problem is, everything besides fighting in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is boring, and this new approach could have been much more if not for lazy and uninspired ideas that even most hardcore Dragon Ball Z fans will not be happy with. Let's start with story. Story is the same as in most Dragon Ball Z games. It follows 4 sagas from Saiyans to Buu saga. It gives me mixed feelings though. Don't get me wrong, even though I am not fan of anime, I do love Dragon Ball Z story and characters. It is dumb fun that works for some and doesn't work for others. To me it is a positive. Problem is, when it is same story over and over again, you lose that excitement of not knowing what's coming next. For me that wasn't a problem in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot because I haven't played Dragon Ball Z game in a long time, so I still had that excitement present because I couldn't remember a lot of stuff. To anyone who watched or played recent Dragon Ball Z games, there is nothing new here unfortunately. Story is a weird thing in Dragon Ball Z games, right? You can't put it as a negative because it is fun, but then again it has been repeated for insane amount of times now. I'll exclude it completely from final score because I don't know what to do with it. I consider it extremely subjective how you feel about this whole setup, and it could make or break your decision to buy this game. So I leave this completely to you. Combat is very simplified version of classic Budokai 3 or newer Dragon Ball Z games. That could also be positive or negative, depends on what you want and expect. Games that I have played a long time ago were really complex, and I don't mind simplified version at all. Some players who want more complex systems similar to previous games will be disappointed. Combat is very cinematic, looks cool, effects are awesome, and it never gets dull, even in its simplified version. Combination of special attacks, block breaks, stuns, dodging and support abilities leads to some awesome looking fights. Playable characters in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot are Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo and Trunks. Every character has 4 special attack slots that are active at all times, and here we can customize which special abilities to take in battle, even though there aren't many to choose from. Usually you will end up using most upgraded versions at that moment, so it is straightforward. Next to that, there are passive slots that can increase damage dealt to stunned enemies, higher level enemies, improve support attacks and so on. There aren't many options here as well, so it ends up being straightforward too. What I like is that we can have at times 2 more party members that have their own support gauge and 2 support slots in which we can slot any of their special attacks. Some characters can only be used as support ones, such as Krillin, Shao Tzu, Yamcha and Tien. There are also special combined attacks that can be used when support gauge is full that look awesome. Character progression system isn't very good. It is straightforward and just comes down to leveling up characters with automatic added health, attack and defense benefits. Only thing you can do is make dishes that add temporary and permanent bonuses. Problem is that this is not necessary at all. Game is easy for the most part because if your level is on par with enemy levels and have some healing items, you will be alright, no matter how bad you are at combat. Overall, very basic character progression that isn't well fleshed out, with everything being quite linear. What I do like, however, is community system. In Dragon Ball Z Kakarot there are many communities that offer various bonuses. By advancing through the story and by completing side quests, more and more characters are unlocked that can be slotted in these communities. You can shower them with gifts to improve ratings in certain categories, and if properly combined with other characters, bonuses are increased. So there is quite a bit to play around in here with. Thumbs up for community system. Now let's talk about the rest of the game, where most of the time is spent. This is the problem of this game. Everything you do outside of story is boring. Simple as that. Regions are full of orbs you can collect that are used to purchase new skills. Thing is, by just playing the story and flying from quest to quest you will collect enough, so there is no need at all to go out of your way to collect these things that are everywhere and just ruin how the world looks. World is quite beautiful without these orbs, with many locations of interest. Fishing, hunting dinosaurs, wolves, deer, collecting apples are all activities you need to do if you want to make dishes or collect stuff that can be sold. Problem is, it is boring doing any of these things. Next we have training that unlocks new skills. Basic stuff, just fight, win, and new skills are unlocked if prerequisites have been met. All of these activities are accompanied with random enemies on the map that respawn too quickly and just annoy you in the end, because there are only 3 or 4 enemy types and robots are the ones fought most often. You think all of this sounds really boring? Oh, but wait, we didn't get to side quests yet. Oh boy, this is where boredom hits new high or low. Side quests have the same formula: collect and fight, that is it. Collecting stuff quest givers want is pain in the arse, because they are hard to spot most of the time, even with our super senses. Occasionally there is fight against, you guessed it, mostly those same robots, and quest is done. Side quests are embarrassing, simple as that. Only thing that might make you do them is the dialogue, that is truly awesome throughout the game. I laughed out loud a lot of times when handing in quests. English voiceover is brilliant. Characters sound as they should, and I have nothing bad to say about it. Audio work altogether is really good, sound effects especially. Graphically, game looks awesome as well. World, characters, animations are brilliant. Overall, graphics and audio are big positive for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. To summarize everything, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot loves to waste your time with boring stuff just to get to that good stuff, which makes for probably 1/3 of the game, even if you skip most of the side activities. Story drags on due to added story fetch quests, and it takes 10 hours or so to get through one saga, even if you skip most of side stuff. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is not very well thought out game, and even fans should be able to see what mediocre attempt this is in creating Dragon Ball Z RPG. Good combat, community, graphics and audio work save the game so much, but it is still to me 5 out of 10 game, which translates to mediocre. If you want complex fighting Dragon Ball Z game, you are not gonna find it here. If you want quality RPG experience, you won't find it here. Who the hell is this game for anyway in the end? Most hardcore fans that can gloss over so many boring things? I honestly can't give you an answer, but I do know I cannot recommend this game to anyone besides most hardcore, desperate, really want to only play Dragon Ball Z and nothing else gamers. Saving grace is, I guess, there is no competition at all at the moment since no games are coming out, so there's that. That would be all, thank you for watching this review and stay tuned for more videos.